Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about my latest synth acquisition, the Arturia MiniBrute. Back when I was beginning to discover the joys of synthesis, the analog renaissance hadn't really kicked off yet. I had my microKORG and my college had a handful of vintage beauties, but the idea of owning a true analog synth didn't really seem viable. I was vaguely aware of synthesizers.com and DUP for doing modular stuff, but I didn't think I'd be able to afford that either. Then, out of the blue, Arturia released the MiniBrute, and owning an analog synth got a step closer. I began saving up my pocket money, and right when I'd saved enough, an opportunity arose to buy a vintage Roland Juno 6. I think it's fairly obvious how that one turned out. Shortly after that, I went to university and began to work professionally as a composer, and so I put some money aside and started my journey into modular, fulfilling my needs for a monosynth and pushing the MiniBrute aside. So why pick one up now? Well, let's take a look at what the MiniBrute has to offer. The MiniBrute is a single oscillator monosynth with noise and a sub-oscillator. The waveforms it offers are sawtooth, square and triangle, with an additional square and sine on the sub. Each of these waveforms has a unique shaping feature: ultrasaw for the sawtooth, pulse width for the square and metallizer for the triangle. The MiniBrute's fully resonant filter is state variable, providing low pass, high pass, band pass and notch, and is controllable via envelope, keyboard tracking or via the LFO, with an additional patch point on the rear of the unit for external control. On the far right of the synthesizer you'll find the brute factor, Arturia's trademark distortion, alongside a fine tune and independent controls for master volume and headphones. Two envelope generators provide contouring for the filter, the amplifier and the wave shapers, and can be set to fast or slow. The LFO has 6 wave shapes: sine, triangle, sawtooth, square, random and slewed random, and can be synced to the arpeggiator. A unique feature for a synth of this size is aftertouch, which can control filter cutoff or vibrato. The vibrato is separate from the LFO, and you can change the rate as well as the waveform from the traditional sine wave to 2 choices of square wave. The MiniBrute's arpeggiator is well featured, with tap tempo, octave selection, arpeggiation mode and swing, and is immensely playable. So the MiniBrute packs a lot of features into quite a small package, but it's how these features are implemented that makes it so unique. Having faders makes it extremely satisfying to play the oscillator. Being able to sync the LFO to the arpeggiator makes percussive sounds a breeze. And of course, extra connectivity allows the MiniBrute to play nicely with other gear. of this comes together into a synth that you just want to get hands-on with. Now that being said, the MiniBrute is not without its flaws. The aftertouch, though a lovely feature, is rather finicky, and I have found it rather difficult to play with the subtle expression I was hoping for. Whilst the sound of the MiniBrute is pure analog, some of its control is not, meaning that a couple of the knobs are rather steppy, and even the LFO can become steppy after switching modes. I even ran into some firmware issues when trying to sync the arpeggiator via USB logic. And I've found that when I do so, the arpeggiator is doubling each note it plays, and I don't want it to do that. So you can hear the click. But does any of this make me unhappy with my purchase? No. So that's the Arturia MiniBrute. I've covered its features, its sounds, and its downsides. But I've forgotten to ask the most important question you can ask of any synthesizer. Will it Doctor Who? that's it for this review. If you enjoyed any of the music in this video, all of which was made using the MiniBrute, you can head over to my Bandcamp and download the Exploration MiniBrute EP. I'll leave you with some more sounds from the MiniBrute, and as always, thanks for watching.